What's up guys, my name is Andre and welcome to another video. Today, another update. I have a third machine. What on earth? Yes guys, I ordered a Q6600 a while back because everyone was telling me, oh, this is such a great chip and it's such a legendary chip. So I went out and ordered one and it arrived shortly after the Xeon. I just didn't record it. Now, this is another 9800 GT. The thing is, once the 9800 GT was my dream video card. Now I have two, because there's another update. My secondary machine was upgraded to a G41 motherboard. It is now using 4 GB of DDR3 memory on dual channel because I have two exactly the same memory modules right there. The E5450, a Xeon, and of course a 9800 GT as well. So this machine has a Q6600, 3 GB of DDR2 800 MHz memory, and a 9000 GT from Point of View. The other one that I have right there is from EVGA. So, I am having just one problem with this machine, which is the power supply. This is a Thermaltake HPC420. This is active PFC, which is pretty remarkable. So as you can see right there, HPC420. Take a look at the voltage and amp ratings. You can see right there that we can supply 18 amps on the 12 volt rail. Now if we do the calculations here, luckily I have a website to do the calculations for me. You can see down there that in the 12 volt rail we're consuming 24 amps. Of course there is some tolerance in that, but 24 amps is just way too high in the tolerance level. And then what happens is, when I put this machine under load, it shuts off after like 3 minutes because the overcurrent protection kicks in. But now, about my main machine. So if we take a look at what my machine consumes, even though it is like 3 times as powerful in theory, you can see right there that in the 12 volt rail we're actually consuming 18.5 amps, which is pretty good. I mean, I could safely use this power supply in my main computer with no problems whatsoever. The only thing is that I would have to use a crap ton of Molex to SATA adapters. Not that I'm not using those. You can already see some down there. And yeah, I mean this power supply is going to be correctly dimensioned for my system, sort of in the limit for about the amperage in the 12 volt rail. But yeah, it's going to work. Now, there is one interesting notion about this power supply. Even though we're under the wattage of the power supply, the system is still not stable. It will shut off after a few minutes because of overcurrent protection. Because we are exploding on the 12 volt rail. The limit was 18 amps. We're sucking in 24. This power supply claims to have two 12 volt rails, but it's fake because it doesn't have the shunt current detectors down there. So even though it lists as having two 16 amp rails, it actually only has one 32 amp rail. So I'm going to take this power supply out of my main computer, swap it with this one, and then this power supply is going to be the power supply that I'll be using for my test benches, because I sold. I didn't sold. I traded another computer that I had. Remember my old secondary machine with the Core 2 Duo? Yeah, I assembled it on a different case, and then I sold it. So that's why I was able to get the 4650. Where did it go? That's why I was able to get the 4650, because I traded that computer. So in exchange for that entire computer, I got a 4650, which is a very strong card for AGP, and also I got a G41 motherboard from ASRock, which, funny enough, I didn't even need to patch the BIOS at all to use the Xeon. It just worked straight out of the box, which is pretty freaking impressive. The system now has a I/O shield, because it didn't have one previously. The only thing that I don't like about this motherboard is that it doesn't have a 1 gigabit Ethernet port. Very, very sad. But since I'm going to be dealing mainly with compressed video files now, because I finally got Bandicam to work again, since I'm going to be dealing with compressed video files that don't even max out playing back on 100 megabit, I brought out my N-way switch, 100 megabits, to connect these two computers to my modem, and then from the modem it goes to my main computer. So everything is working in pretty much harmony in here, except for this power supply in this rig, and I am underusing this power supply. So that's it. I'm going to change that power supply for this one, swap them both, so that the one I can actually use on my tests and things, and I'll have a pretty safe margin. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.